DreamHack Astro Open is brought to you by ASTRO, Monster Energy, Corsair, Zowie, and Intel.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Denver is the capital of the largest city in the U.S. state of Colorado. It is located at the foothills of the Rocky Mountains on the South Platte River and was founded in 1858. A nickname for Denver is the Mile High City because Denver is very high above sea level. And with that being said, we've got quite a few intense matches left here in Denver. We're getting down to the winners matches. My name's Stunna. I'm here on the desk. I'm hosting this bad boy right next to James Hayes Cobb and Dustin Moret. Guys, are we in for a treat?
Can I get some ones in the chat if Cloud9's gonna spank that ass? Please.
Or exclamation point C9. You can also put that in the chat right next to the one, or put both. Just don't get banned. It's not worth.
It's true. It's not worth getting banned.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think Cloud9's getting in.
You putting a one in the chat?
Yeah, I would put a one in the chat.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Well, putting a one in the chat might be a simple way to do it, but ultimately we need to step back and look at exactly how this one might unfold. We don't know the map yet. It is a best of one. But guys, comparatively speaking, looking at these two teams in Cloud9 and Renegades and the sort of event they're having already, will this be a close matchup?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that Cloud9 is packing too much firepower for Renegades to handle. I think when you look at what Cloud9 was doing at E-League Premier against some of the best teams in the world, and the fact that they, came out as expected in their first match, no slow start, no issues, no things that they need to worry about. I think that they certainly come into this as the heavy favorite. Really haven't seen these teams play head-to-head very much. Just a couple of EPL matches where it kind of split maps, so not much history there. But I think Cloud9 are just a stronger team. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Cloud9, they're just stronger. Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at Group A. Yeah, sure. Let's check it out. Cloud9 pretty much just pummeling Tempo Storm this morning, 16-4 would be our kickoff match, and then CLG and Renegades going the distance, 16-14, which has set us up for the winner's match, Cloud9 versus Renegades, while CLG and Tempo drop to an elimination match to be played tomorrow. But ultimately, guys, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, because these are two teams that play in the same region and play each other quite frequently, is that going to be a detriment going into the LAN match right here? Are we going to see possibly an even closer match because of it?
Not at all.
Not even close.
I'm telling you, it's Cloud9 here. I mean, I guess the one saving grace for Renegades is that they looked good in clutches in their previous match, and that goes a long way in building an economy and breaking another team's economy. But unfortunately, they don't stack up against this team. Cloud9's firepower is just unbelievable. Even with Skadoodle not playing at a very high level right now, this team is still incredible. And if Skadoodle gets to that level, this team's only going to get better.
Right. I mean, it's not to say that Renegades don't have any talent. I mean, they certainly do have some really skilled players on that team, but it's just that Cloud9's so deep right now. They also just have a lot of aggressive prone riflers. That means they're going to be very overwhelming. They can just, get right in your face, bully you. They can trade frag very well because if you knock down one guy who's entering, there's, 3 more guys to follow him up who are also very good at taking opening duels and opening up areas of the map. So I think they're just very overwhelming to deal with, especially for teams in the North American region.
Well, I also think, too, given the region conversation, they're able to come in and play with that poise and that sort of confidence that you would have in a domestic sort of matchup. We say the same thing about Brazilian Counter-Strike when they play one another. It's sort of a similar setup, so to say.
Yeah, but I guess it's regional, but like half the team is Australian.
True, but they do tend to hang out in the great state of Michigan, so I hear.
They do. But I don't know. They've been here for a while. They haven't really, I don't think, gone to the next level, which is what I think by now they should have been there.
Right. I mean, I think the thing is, like, if Renegades came into this tournament and they were showing us a lot online or something like that, like they were really rising up the ranks, right? Or we saw them do something big in E-League Premier in their own right. The problem is there's just not much there to go off of. In fact, a lot of Renegades results have been kind of mixed, and we haven't seen them really settle in with map just yet. Whereas it feels like Cloud9 are starting to hit their stride with this new lineup, right? A little bit bumpy at first, but I think the last couple tournaments they've really started to show some of that potential.
Well, yeah, as you said, the G2 and Astralis, I mean, those matches are against 2 Tier 1 teams. They took out G2, and Astralis wasn't even a blowout. So, I mean, Cloud9's firing right now.
Cloud9's firing away. Well, you're going to see the Renegades on your screen. It's going to be Azur, JKS, Ustillo, Nifty, and Nafly. Now, Nafly, sort of, you know, he's an explosive player, and we've discussed that before. Azur came out in their first matchup, had a lot to show. But what is there to say about a JKS or Ustillo?
I mean, when you look at the roster, you still think the star, at least in my opinion, is JKS. I think he's the rifler that everyone in North America, at least, has played against a lot, and we all have said, I think, I don't know the word I'm looking for here is, but
I feel like he's a rock.
Unanimously have pretty much come to the conclusion that this guy is a star player, and maybe he doesn't have the right pieces around him, and maybe that's why he hasn't been on a winning team yet. But I feel like this team does have the pieces. That's why it has me wondering, like, why they aren't at the next level. I think Nifty is a fantastic offer. He's super explosive. He has up and downs, but Naf is an incredible clutch player. So I feel like this team just has it, but they need to get to the next level.
Nifty is certainly a player you can see holding super tight angles with the op, and you know, from time to time, you'll see in their matchups where it's almost like there's a hard counter to Nifty's common angles. Like we see it in Pro League sometimes. But is that going to be a detriment here? Is there a chance, Dust, that the combination of Nifty and the crew are able to put anything whatsoever down on Cloud9?
I think there certainly is. I mean, if you have guys like Nifty and Azur playing as well as they were playing in that matchup we just saw against CLG, and they're hitting their shots and they're looking strong, again, it's not that Renegades don't have any talent. And I think that Nifty, in combination with Casada as a coach, actually do bring a good structure to this team. I think that they have a good idea about the general way they want to approach the game, which is about trying to make those fine-tune adjustments to fit Naf in. And I do like the fact that they're using Naf more actively, because I think he does have a really high skill ceiling and great aim, and so I like him being more involved rather than just being some type of lurk role player. Right, I think with JKS, as you were bringing up, I think he's kind of just the stable guy that you know, game in and out. He's probably going to perform. Like, he's not going to knock your socks off with huge plays all the time, but he's usually going to put up his numbers. Think of like a Bolts or an FNX used to be, guys that you can just kind of rely on.
And certainly, I'm going to vouch for JKS. That dude's a gamer. Yeah. And his last name is Savage. So no matter what you say at this point, that's kind of the real talking point we should have hit on. But instead, we're going to go with the map vetoes here. And actually see Inferno come out, banned first by the Renegades, followed by Cobble by Cloud9.
Yeah, Inferno is a map I thought that might have made it deep into the pick ban, but clearly it didn't. You know, I'm leaning towards Cash or Mirage at this point. Both of those maps are in the wheelhouse of both of these teams. Surprising that
I like that they did that, though. Okay. I mean, Cloud9's looked super strong on Mirage, and while I know Renegades are down to play it, they know that they need to ban the strengths out of their opponent. I think they think that's their best chance to win. I expect Cloud9 to get rid of Nuke here soon. Actually, they're going to get rid of Cash right there, but I would expect a Nuke ban coming out at some point, perhaps from Cloud9. I think Renegades are actually going to be fine letting it through, though. Like, I think they'll use their last ban to maybe take out something else, like maybe like Overpass, I would think would be a map that I would want to see Renegades maybe get rid of, but they do get rid of Nuke. Okay.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick ban. I mean, I was wrong on all three maps I thought would make it deep, and you know, I'm not really happy with this pick ban for Renegades, to be honest. Unless it ends up on Cash, which would be, or sorry, Cash is banned.
Yep. There we go. You know what? We're going to Train.
Train. Ooh.
Train. We're playing in the train yard, boys.
Okay.
So when we look at this, though, ops are a huge factor here. Skadoodle needs to do it, or I mean, even Nifty, even on either side. Surprisingly,
I would disagree in that Cloud9 as a train team don't rely on an opper.
Yeah,
they have shown since Automatic has joined this team that they are super aggressive with rifles, especially towards outside. Automatic and Stewie combined, even without Rush and Tarek, who are both aggressive riflers and are amazing players in their own right. Those two have opened up Train outside by themselves. Now they have two extra aggressive riflers. This team looks good on Train.
Well, guys, I do have to ask you quickly for your predictions in going in this matchup between the Renegades and Cloud9 on Train. Dust, we'll start with you.
I think it's definitely Cloud9.
Yeah, I would say Cloud9. I'll even give a score. I mean, 16-7.
16-7. The man says it himself. I'm going to have to go with the home team, and that's going to be Cloud9. And that's just because, well...
No bias.
No bias.
You never a part of Cloud9.
No. But, you know who's waiting by? Can you guys guess?
No.
Would it maybe be Blue and Launders?
It might be. Let's go ahead and tap into that right now. Guys, you ready to get into this first winners match?
That was a really good guess, by the way.
It's almost like he knew.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I learned from the best.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Either way, guys. Hey, I'm going to let you guys take it from here and jump into this matchup.
All right, thank you very much, Sana. So it does go to Train for this matchup between Cloud9 and the Renegades. How do you think that changes this matchup at all, that we actually end up on Train?
Man, I'm with Haze and Dust. Like, this veto doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, like I think Cloud9 are happy to play Train. I don't think Renegades should be playing Cloud9 on Train. I actually think Cloud9's Train is not that great, but it's still really good for them. Like, I think I can see there's visibly like some things in their setup that they should be changing on Train, and I think they've addressed some of them. I think Stewie's a very important player on this map because he's the one who will like push down Ivy with an op and get a kill when he needs to. But overall, sometimes they're a little bit too passive, sometimes they're a little bit too static, but still they're a lot better than Renegades are on Train, I want to say. So I actually, in this matchup in general, I thought that Renegades would have a good chance. I thought that Renegades would actually do quite well. I know Hayes was talking about how with Renegades, like, why aren't they at the next level when they have all the pieces? I see it the same way, except I actually think that they're building towards that. I think they have actually shown that they have played pretty well overall, and maybe they're not quite where they should be. Maybe Ustillo's a little bit too inconsistent, but everyone else is on point. Azur had an insane map last map, and we can see that his clutch ability, his aim is incredibly on point at the moment, and I think they have a lot of potential. So I don't think that this is going to be... I wish it was on another map because I feel like it would be a lot less one-sided, but I think that Cloud9 will have a good day on Train. I
think Renegades will get the advantage when it comes to the op-on-op battle because like the analysts were saying, or one of our analysts was saying anyway, Cloud9 really don't rely on the op on this map in order to get things done. So I think that that's maybe one area where Renegades would get an advantage, but besides, that's really hard to find any huge pluses for them going into Train. And speaking of which, we're going into it now. It's time to start our first winners match as we look to decide our first semi-finalist here at Denver. Will it be Cloud9 or the Renegades? Let's find out.
We move into upper with most of Renegades players, actually all of them, have walked their way through. No one to pop flash, and they've only got USPs to go up against, but it seems they're starting to group, and it looks like they want a reason to explode. No one's going to give them it quite yet, but there's an aggressive inner setup, or sorry, a solid stack from Cloud9 with Tarek and Spools, and Stewie and Skadoodle in positions that can take attention away from him.
So now we do see the utility being tossed out by the Renegades. Just going to go for a quick ramp play. They have one guy going out of upper. Tarek has not been spotted just yet, but this upper player should check for it. He's a little bit preoccupied, though. You can see Naf getting that first kill, but that means Tarek goes unchecked, and he's allowed to get away with 2 of these kills from back here. The CTs even hold tanker, too, as Stewie rotates in, and he's going to shut down 3 of those last players.
And you see that position that Tarek is playing, it's a position that is so common and should always clear it, but because they have Skadoodle and Stewie both peeking inner, they think, all right, we're not running into a 3-person setup. We've crossed, let's get the bomb down, and here's Tarek having an open line of sight on a couple of players and not even having to duel anybody in particular. They don't even know he was there. As far as they're concerned, he somehow got those kills but wasn't inner. Now we move into the second round. They haven't busted outside. I think it might have been Cloud9's flashes initially, but it's pretty much a full pistol save for the Renegades, and they're setting up in the exact same setup as they did last round.
I think they're really going to try to go for the plan here, as that would really be the only reason why we would see a full save. So they're trying to still get that possibility for a 3rd round buy going at least. And as we see a smoke go down at ramp, there was looking to be some pressure from the Renegades there, but I believe it's all going to shift towards upper now. Still a commitment from them. It's Skadoodle holding it, however, so actually they are going to be allowed to kind of waterfall out. Stewie can assist with this, but he's got to be a little bit careful so as not to get overwhelmed here. Keep in mind, this is Cloud9 trying to stack up money on these rounds, and they'll do just that. They handle it very well, and more importantly, they deny that 2nd round plan.
We didn't see who the hell is that?
I actually have no clue who that is either.
That's not Danon. That's not Valens. Who the hell is that? That's funny. I
saw him walking around earlier.
I don't know who that is. But I hope he has insane input. Either way, I'm just surprised we didn't see a plant last round from the Renegades. It seemed like Stewie was being aggressive, but he gave him enough space to try to go for it. Another pistol save because they didn't get that plant. 3 Glocks, 2 P250s, and a rush up Ivy.
Automatic's going to be able to handle most of the push coming from outside there and through Ivy. And they'll actually have to rely on a teammate to finish it up, as Automatic does end up going down. But besides that, it's another very clean round. Renegades, unfortunately, not putting much effort on that 3rd round. So now, we're finally going to see a bit more of that, as it is time for the gun round.
Yes, the all-elusive. And I've been patient. You know, I've been waiting for this gun round for rounds now. I just wanted to see this one. So I'm so happy we're finally here. There's an op in Nifty's hands and an op in Skadoodle's. I don't know if they'll fight each other. That doesn't always happen, but you will see that if you're going to buy it off on T side, he's going to go out and look for kills. And that is one way to die. But I guess he comes away with his life. 14 HP as Azur falls off of a T-Con Molly. really committed hard there.
He likes to play like
whatever the call was, he trusted it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just making the game harder for himself.
Yeah, hard mode, exactly.
Yeah. He's just turning it up. New game plus. So Rush is going to rush inside of the ladder room there and get himself a quick double kill. JKS and Naf both going down there. So an early advantage for Cloud9 to be able to start themselves off with here. And now it's really just dealing with the T-Con players, as that's pretty much all that's left. I think they've got maybe one sitting upstairs. Nope, he's in T-Con too. Everybody else just hanging out inside right now and looking for a new opportunity to initiate. But now that Cloud9 have this 5v3 advantage, there's really no reason for them to take any aggressive peeks here.
It's always fun when you win a choke point that you not only get that choke point, but you realize they're not going to see any more people. You've also got a 5v3 for your team. They don't know Azur's hurt, but boy, is he. So he's going to have a hard time having impact. He has made his way up. Oh, young Stewart
gets the second kill as well. I would have thought Nifty would have been able to react to that at least, but no. Stewie just shuts it down entirely in T-Con. It's too easy to pull off that flank for him. And that's a very, very quick first gun round going by the way of Cloud9. That's not looking good for the Renegades. They're going to have to recover from this quickly.
And like if they know that it's going to be an outside hit as well, and they think they saw that Rush had someone at the bottom of the ladder was watching the top of a ladder for a fast flank, so they know that no one's holding up there. So then Stewie's like, okay, I can push in here if Rush communicates that, because he probably should have. And then, you know, he gets his kills easily in T-Con.
Skadoodle's even just going to go for this aggressive back check now onto the box holes. Won't see much, at least until we get a peek from Nifty there on top. That'll take him down. And actually looks like he's sticking around for more here too, since it is an eco round. It's not as high risk to stand out here. Naf, being given the opportunity to catch automatic, is going to take him down, but Rush does swing right out into that safe position to trade that kill, so making sure that they stay under control. And the smoke works as pretty much perfect bait to get them out in the open there. Just destroys the remaining few players. It's another pretty easy anti-eco from C9.
I don't remember who was talking about this yet the other day. It might have been James, as C9's analyst. He was talking about how Skadoodle has this formula for, or no, it was nothing, I think. He was saying that Skadoodle has this formula for that. If you get to like that 7-1.
Oh, the Skatheory.
The Skatheory, yeah. You get to 7, or you get to 7-0, you will always lose the round.
You will always lose the 8th
That's
round.
why we see so many 7-1s. And, you know, that might be a self-fulfilling prophecy for Cloud9, as they are getting really close to that. But
maybe he's just ahead of the curve, and he's like the one who knows how to get over that 7th round.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see.
We'll
see right now, yeah.
So they are going to get aggressive on Ivy, and once again, just shutting it down. They're not even struggling in these duels right here. Well, I say that just as Tarek actually does struggle in one of his 1v1s there, but he plays very aggressive up towards T-Con. JKS with this other trade, though, brings it back down into an even bout. Now it's a 3v3. Renegades get good control over the first part of the train yard and E-Box here, but Rush with a great peek finds Nifty's head in the open. He's going to take it right off, but unfortunately, unable to do that a second time. JKS will trade it, and now we'll look for more here, but Stewie's going to use this as an opportunity to get up from the bomb train and get out into the open here a little bit to take some more fighting power. The Molly does not hold back that player wrapping around E-Box, who's going to do good damage to Stewie, but Stewie somehow survives it at 8 HP, is able to reverse that kill, and now put it down to just one man left alive for the Renegades, and he only has 7 HP left. It's JKS trying to do an impossible 1v2 clutch, although he did just get that spot onto the player at Heaven. Knows he's there, so Stewie, he's at a bit of a time race here, as if JKS could take out Skadoodle, and unfortunately, when he tries to go for the peek, he misses that opportunity. Now, though, with him revealing himself, Stewie is going to be looking to pinch on him in just a second, but even Stewie has to be careful, so it's a lineup good angle. Thankfully, he does just that and is able to secure the final frag, putting it up at 6-0 for Cloud9.
I'm so happy that I think we'll get to see if the prophecy comes true. Now, the reason that you do get to 7-0 so quickly is by stringing these rounds together, as we see that in this half so far, we've only had Cloud9 play 2 full rifle rounds, and the rest have just been ecos, right? Just a pistol round, 2 anti-ecos, rifle, pistol, and this is going to be the second one, actually. So it might have been only 1 in total. Now, and a lot of that does come down to bomb plants, Caceres to be able to buy in the 3rd round if they do get a 2nd round or 1st round bomb plant. We didn't see that from Renegades. So easiest road for Cloud9 to get to the scoreline that they're at now. Renegades are, they're on the off pattern. So they're going to be buying now and have as many nades as they need. And yeah, it's going to be another opportunity to buy. It's going to be nice to the Renegades. They did get Cloud9 quite low last round. I think in terms of money, Cloud9 are still looking pretty healthy overall. Stu has already 11K. My goodness, man. That's a college fund.
Everybody can afford at least 1 rebuy on their own for, I think, 2 or 3 of the players. They're up at like 2 or 3 rebuys at this point. So that's a dangerous economy being set up for only 6 rounds, 1, 2. It's not like we've gone up like 10-0 and we're at this point. This is still very early on in the game. So Renegades have kind of put themselves into a hole, and unfortunately they're going to have to dig out of it for the rest of this half, as they'll take it very, very slow at the beginning of this next gun round here. Even going up just to the peak at Ivy here, they're going about it very, very slowly, and for good reason too. The Skadoodle is here ready to challenge it. The flash out, but it doesn't hit Skadoodle at all, so he's able to re-peek and take out Ustilla once again, giving an early advantage to this CT side.
You know, as the queen of the round, like in terms of a chessboard, the op being the most important, you want to try to not pick off the other queen. You want to pick off the pawns up front, as many riflers as possible. Those are the easy fights to take. We always talk about op versus op duels, but if you're op to have the best impact, they've got to go after pick on these riflers. And whoa, off that corner of that smoke, there might now be an opportunity for a peek versus Skadoodle.
He is still ready, sitting in the corner though. Spots one player, I believe, jumping out, and there we go. Perfect timing onto the headshot for Nifty, but as it does sneak back up from T-Con, picks up one player, and JKS finding another near bomb train. Rush still has this forward position.
Oh!
He didn't get that kill, but swings around to correct it. Nicely done, and only took 25 damage, so now he sees the shadow of Azure, an easy kill there, and now has found the last one. Will flash out around the corner, knows he's pushing, he's got a completely blind for the flashbang, and instantly headshots. Okay. What a class play from Rush.
That is like the Stewie level stuff, right? Like that is the insane like court IQ that you look for in Stewie when he makes plays like that. He's in an awkward position, and in that situation, Rush puts himself there, right? Because it gets all that damage off on our ladder player, thinks he kills him, turns around, readjusts, has the aim to complement it, knows this other kill's gonna come from here, protects himself by standing in front of E-Box, and even finds this third kill with a great flash to support himself. That was so dope.
Very, very nice. And once again, it's broken this T-side economy here, so they're just going to be down on Deagles, but the Deagles can work. Nav quickly getting ladder control and busting right out to find Rush. So it's Renegades, actually, they get the first kill. Unfortunately, on a round like this, that's not a huge advantage just yet. They need to get one or two more to really try and solidify this and put themselves into a situation where they feasibly can win this round.
Yeah, Neff's like, remember me? Hits him with the 1D. Hasn't been all that long, but these players have changed so much already. Now, automatic hopping at Ivy, not something you see every day. Sometimes it's Stewie who plays inner, sometimes coming to Ivy, and like last round, the usual suspects include Skadoodle and Stu. But wow, what another nice 1D from Nafly.
Now this is starting to turn into something that maybe, just maybe, the Renegades can work with here.
Oh my God, is Kathiri coming to fruition?
It might be
on an eco round of all rounds.
It might be very true.
Can you not get a 8-0?
The best part is they are proving this like hand over fist because it's in an eco round here. Automatic, however, firing back here, trying his best to avoid it. With that missed op shot, he's going to be flashed out, and that's Azure getting the kill. Skadoodle moves in with the second op, takes out JKS, evens the fight back down into a 2v2, but now Nifty's picked up one of the ops from Cloud9 as well. So they have more firing power to play off of. Even without the armor, he can still be very, very effective with it. So he's going to go for the long lurk, but that is dangerous here. However, look, no, a missed shot from Skadoodle. He's not actually able to take down Azure, so he gets the kill. And now, all that's going to save this round for Cloud9 is going to be the lurk from Stewie and a big whiff on the spray. I don't think he does a single point of damage there. Now they know exactly where he's at. They flash him out too. He's still going to have the capability to make this play. He just has to do it very unfortunate, as that molly just goes right into the dirt, not where he wanted it to. Wanted to burn this player out behind the bomb train, although he gets that kill. The shot from before should have given a good idea as to where Azur's playing from. And he has Azure lows. There's a very winnable 1v1, and he'll do it. And with just enough time left, he should be able to defuse this bomb, sending Cloud9 up to that 8-0, proving the theory wrong, I guess.
Proving the theory wrong, you know, that's true. And, you know, leave it to Stewie to do it. What a play from Stewie. Even going to the top of the ladder, you see how you, like, pre-aim that spot perfectly? He just has such a good idea of exactly where people will be, and Naf made this a 3v5 in the cleanest way possible with these two 1Ds. But after this, it was a great cleanup from Cloud9, and it did have to come down to the clutch. But even there, puts Azure off his mark by making him like he baits out rifle bullets. You usually see that with an opper, but he's baiting him into spraying, which is so interesting. And you know, there was a million ways that Azure could have played that, and that's really a dope moment where you hit yourself on the forehead because you think, oh, I should have just fallen back. But Stewie knew exactly what he was planning to do, that he would take that fight. He was correct about it and got rewarded. So the ever elusive 8-0 scoreline. Cloud9 have achieved it.
It's the calculated 1v2, and here we go. Cloud9 with a very well-established lead, just continuing to build it more and more. They are going to be going up against another gun round here. Important to note that it does get brought that close. That's actually a big dent in the C9 economy, at the very least, that Renegades are able to do. Remember, they need to try and stack multiple sequences of rounds together in order to have any chance of a comeback in this half, but that's not what you want! Tarek standing right over underneath of the drop there is able to take one player out and does good damage to his second, as I believe they were trying to set up the totem pole drop, but Tarek sees that coming and is able to do massive damage to the Renegades. It's actually been a huge counter to creep up and spot under it to try to stop anybody from doing the totem pole. Now, I honestly think that the best thing to do is just a double molly, because if you double molly, time the flash properly, they won't hear it, and you'll be able to clear. You know that 100% no one is standing in it unless they drop a smoke on it, which at least baits out sub-utility response. But, I mean, I guess it's just some teams can't afford it. Well, Tarek ready to defend from inside of E-Box, but unfortunately, he'll go down relatively quickly to Azza. Now Rush is going to try to sneak back around. Automatic, even helping him out a little bit here, taking out the ever-elusive Nifty. Azza still trying to play around, but he's just losing his teammates one by one, and he's not being given any opportunities to deal any kills here. In fact, he's left as the last man standing, but goes down to Skadoodle, who sneaks up from behind him there in the old bomb tunnel, and ends up being a relatively clean round once again from Cloud9. Only one player dying, with Tarek going down to E-Box. Yeah, and it seems like if Tarek goes down to E-Box for free, it's going to be a pretty easy round overall, but as they come out, this is so lucky for Automatic. He doesn't realize that there's somebody on his ass waiting to kill him, but he can't find the exact angle to do it at, and because of that, he's finding kills in the process. So that sucks for Azza. I mean, I think it's pretty much just luck, basically, which side you hope that he's going to peek, and he couldn't guess. Now, I wonder why Automatic is opping. I wonder why Tarek's playing close up and ladder, but it seems to be working out just well, or just fine. So now we've actually got the opportunity for an even more elusive 16-0. I mean, it really is getting hairy here, and less compelling, I think. But Renegades don't seem like they're coming any closer to winning rounds. It seems like they're getting farther away from that. It's just, I mean, even when we see good entries coming out from them like we had on Tarek in the last round, there's very poor follow-through a lot of the time in Cloud, and even though they are putting down either, bad positions or, bad 1vx situations, they still seem to be able to handle pretty much everything that Renegades is throwing at them. This time, they're going to throw a very aggressive push towards outside. The bomb not being committed just yet, and in fact, Naf counters out this two-man push that ends up going through the box halls here. So very quickly, along with the entries that they get on the outer site, Cloud9's numbers are diminished down to essentially nothing, and it's left to Automatic to 1v4 clutch. They will bring the bomb to his site, actually, instead of planning towards inner. They're going to give him a chance to do this, but since he's already fired off some shots from here, it's going to be very obvious that he's pushing out from this angle, and if he doesn't check the other side, oh no, he does! Oh my goodness! He even gets the knife kill too! But Azur will take him down, and that finally secures a round for the Renegades. But, of course, Automatic having a little bit of fun there at the end. Yeah, and he didn't do it for the money, like they have that. But, yeah, I mean, he did it for the lulz. I respect it. And I think, it didn't really affect his chances of being able to win that round. So, kudos to Automatic for putting on a show, that beautiful Sapphire butterfly. But Cloud9 down up 9-1. It's not going to be a big deal for them. I guess that does help with their bank a little bit. And now they have no opportunity to come close to getting a reset if Renegades do put two together. And here, there's been a couple of duels at Ivy that Skadoodle has been the better man in, and that actually is a huge reason why they do have a lead. We know that he shut down Nifty a couple of times now, which is really nice for them. And he's going to continue to look to do that here. We'll even have support from the back lane coming out at this point from Automatic here, who actually I believe is going to be taking up the first point of contact so that Skadoodle can kind of do double duty and support Automatic while also watching out for any T-Con pressure too. But right now, it's very focused on the Ivy play. They know for sure they're going to have players coming out of there in just a moment. It's only a matter of time here. We can even see the CTs trying to counternade a little bit to deal some extra damage. There comes the smoke. That should hold them back for just a little bit longer, but nope, they're going to swing back out. Skadoodle tries to no-scope, but somehow he gets away to that corner there. They don't take him down as quickly. Takes him the extra moment to find him. Automatic, in the meanwhile, sneaks his way over here into Ivy, and now he's going to bust that with a double kill. He's got to work quickly, however. As actually, no, it seems like Stewie as well was able to handle most of the rest of this action coming out from the Renegades, and they've brought it down to just Naf. Okay, so they've got bomb control, so it's really up to Stu whether or not he wants to move. But if they split up, they risk that he moves quickly, and there's Automatic with a third kill on the round. Insane stuff with that spray transfer. Most importantly, though, he had the idea to push, and he acted on it immediately, and that was like the perfect, most opportune moment he could have done it.
And that was crazy. So even though Scoodle comes away with no kills at Ivy, is flashed off his position, they actually get out. This time they've got a second tier of defense. And I think that one of my criticisms for Cloud9 is that they play passive at Ivy way too often, but we do also see it be a problem because they don't want to play aggressive because they don't want to throw away their talent by doing some rush. But at the same time, you know, teams can exploit it sometimes, and there they couldn't. And another opening decoy kill for Nafly. Wasn't enough last time for the Renegades, but it's a nice place to start.
Yeah, so we'll see another one here. Skadoodle is going to be waiting for another upper execute. This has been the common play from the Renegades on these eco rounds, and once again, Skadoodle sees it, knows there's probably going to be a few more coming back out at the ramp or at this position, so he does change his own spot, getting over here. It said actually looks like he was rotating into there for a second, so this is on Stewie, but Stewie's just having target practice out here. 2 quick kills for him, knows the upper players there, good nade damage onto that guy, and there we go. Knocks out Nifty to once again get a very quick and secure round for Cloud9. They do let the plant get away, so there'll be a little bit of excess cash going on to the Renegades, but that shouldn't matter at this point in the map.
Stewie's like a hummingbird. He just makes it look so effortless, but he's is calculating things all the time, and it just made that he separated those fights perfectly. You know, obviously this nade is to pepper the person trying to plant and realizes there's still one upper, dealt with that person. Ultimately, it wasn't eco round, it wasn't all that difficult, but it's very important that you have a solid inner player because on train you very often play 4 outside, so this guy being by himself, if you want him to be up close and stop plants, he's got to be able to like consistently get 2 to 3 kills, no matter what the round.
And it all just looks so smooth from him too, even though again he is obviously just going up pistols there, but no one from the Renegades even able to disrupt him there at all.
It's a 60 FPS stream, baby.
Just going through the motions. So let's see here. Now we have Renegades back onto the buy. No op this time for Nifty. It is just 5 AKs, but full utility essentially for the entire team. I think everybody except for Naf. And Naf has already thrown out quite a bit. And so, with all that utility being tossed outside, it looks like in a moment here, we may see the execute. The CTs, of course, have had a bit of their own, so Skadoodle is going to be the one that strikes first, and even better, Rush to spot these players coming outside of T-Con. Spamming into it, though. He will give away his position, and that's where Azure will be able to continue these trades, keeping it even at a 3v3. Tarek with one more, and now he has to fall back. Renegades get enough control to be able to plant the bomb behind the bomb train, but they're still only at 2 players. So they're going to try to get aggressive, but no one watching Ivy. That lets Tarek sneak off 1 kill, and Skadoodle takes a head-on battle in the 1v1 to close out the last man alive there for the Renegades and put Cloud9 up to 12.
Another round where opening kills are a huge problem for Renegades is that like Cloud9 find the perfect opportunity to push up right side by T-Con and aggress to get kills. They're basically flanking entrymen, which should never happen, and that's why we see Olaf be so important for teams that take outside. We haven't seen Renegades do that at all. Instead, they go either default or execute, but they don't have anything that's allowed them to find an opening kill in a default that leads into an execute, like an Olaf player to catch someone pushing, and then an execute to follow with somebody who has a lot of information that's inside the site. And I think that's cost them a couple of rounds for sure.
Azure very quickly getting himself into ladder controller too, so Tarek is not going to be able to play forward for it this time. He is actually playing a completely different position this time too, and Rush for the most part is watching out for the ladder play. Tarek sitting in the sandwich lane is much more so going to be focused on supporting if T-Con gets pushed, and then able to swing in and help out ladder room. Stewie's also here as well, and he's able to move in to quickly take out 1 player. If they peek ramp, Skadoodle's got the op trained on it too. There's just no safe options being provided for the Renegades currently. At least the good flashbang will force Skadoodle back, and even better, doesn't give him a whole lot of intel about what's still hiding back there too.
What happens now? 4 on 5, another opening kill round for Cloud9. I definitely, if you got the stats, tweet me the stats on these opening kills because it's been very one-sided. It seems like when we think about how good the CTs have done in the early round. But now another kill, 5v3, poor guns to work with. Tarek still pushed up and holding strong, and finally gets taken out. JKS.
He's going to see all 3 of those players moving in, though, and now Automatic still at this strong position right inside of Sandwich is going to be able to pick up 1 more kill. He goes down, but with Rush finding the trade, it's all on you, Stillo, and he can only get that 1 extra kill. Rush knocks out the last 2, and it's not even really a surprise at this point. It's Cloud9 to continue to secure these rounds. 13-1 scoreline, and we're still in the first half here.
Yeah, they just look like computers, dude. Like, they're not giving them any extra time to adjust. It's like, if you find a Cloud9 player, you better kill him right away, because they're just all so good by themselves that they don't even have to be in great positions to trade, and that's kind of the number, it's like the first demon that they have to fight with. Now, it could potentially, it's the last round of the half. Renegades, again, not a great buy. Following up another kind of weaker buy, and so it's pretty much on them to prove that they can figure out a new way to approach the defense.
So Renegades on this final 4 spot here, just essentially trying to push themselves into the box walls once more to look for an inner execute. Immediately though, since we don't see any pressure outside whatsoever, Skadoodle is going to get pulled in towards Z to watch ramp so that Stewie can focus entirely on upper. Skadoodle misses his first shot, though, or at least doesn't get a full kill from it. So JKS is going to be able to move out, trading him. Now Stewie sits as the lone man inner. Thankfully for him, though, there's no one playing towards that upper door right now, so he's free to lurk on this as much as he wants to. Moves in, misses that first opportunity for a kill, but can still get a double because he finishes off the player that Skadoodle legged earlier, along with finishing off Nifty there. Nath does trade him, but with his 2 kills, that's kept it even into a 3-on-3. A lot of time has gone by, though, and with Stewie going down, Cloud9 lose basically all of the control they had over this B site. They have to very carefully move forward and attempt to retake this while also watching out, but 2 quick kills from both of the ops brings it down to just 1. And he doesn't have a molly. He needs to bust out here and take a fight. The molly will actually block him off and he goes down. It's only a matter of questioning is, did they get on the bomb quickly enough? And it looks like they did, so they'll be able to defuse one more time and get it up to 14 to end the first half.
What a poor performance. Couldn't get that 50-0. It's really sad. No, I mean, that was nuts from Cloud9. And that last round, it really is on Renegades, though, and you just called it out as you were casting, that there was nobody to watch upper, right? There's no one, all someone had to do is peek Stewie from upper. As soon as he starts shooting, he missed that first set of bullets, and then the guy Euler ends up dying, and then that guy dies afterwards, too, and there's no trade. So, you know, that's a problem that could have been stopped with putting someone in the best after plant position right out of the gate when they have the bomb down. And they didn't do it, but you can't blame them for being a little bit, not lazy, but maybe a little bit unconfident and maybe messing stuff up beyond, you know, so when you're unconfident, you messed up even that, like, you were meant to, like, the easiest stuff. It's just like the most simple stuff becomes hard all of a sudden. Like, you just feel like you have no hope, and I feel like that's where Renegades is right now.
Yeah, Stu could have picked up easily 3 or 4 kills there if he kills the first guy that he was shooting at, and actually he's able to kill him in that first volley because then he's not available to go back, and he doesn't have to, you know, re-peek to him, so maybe he's able to take on Naf instead of getting traded by him. Overall, just a very, very sloppy hold there on the final round. But it does look like we're going into the second half, and it's do or die time for the Renegades. They essentially have to win this pistol, or the map is over, and Cloud9 will get an easy ticket to push forward into the semifinals.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice position to be in. Now, it's pretty four armor buy with Nifty on the kit, and Smokedoodle takes a bit of chip damage right out the gate, but he's already out to Olaf, so he'll take that. It's still a problem for the CTs. The great thing about that spot is that you have to assume that the T's there, but if you don't have utility to flush him out, you've also got to respect him. And he's actually fallen out as well, so.
JKS knows the force that's going to be pushed against him, but he's actually not able to get behind Blue Train in time. Stewie takes him out. The molly will stop the CTs from being able to push in, and more importantly, push forward to take back any site control here. This is going to let Cloud9 just flood the train yard, not giving them any room to maneuver at all. A few trades, but it's not enough, and ultimately, it ends up being Naf as the last man standing with only 3 HP. Still 4 players strong and up for Cloud9, and Naf will instantly go down as soon as he takes the battle. Cloud9, there you go, up to map point at 15-1.
Make it look so simple, man. And yeah, that's all they did there was they made it simple. They kept it real easy. They just did one person out to Olaf, and that person, Skadoodle, all he has to do is exist, and they have to see him cross. And even if he leaves, as long as they don't see him leave, they have to assume, okay, if somebody could creep outside if it is a fake or anything like that, and holds rotates for just long enough to do something simple on a pistol. And that's all you really need to do. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Keep it simple, Blue.
One final chance for the Renegades here now to try and come back, and it would have to be just on upgraded pistols and armor. Stewie already spotting the one player hiding out at the bottom of the ladder room here, and then quickly escaping back up top. As these guys from Cloud9 play it very, very slowly at the beginning. Not trying to take any initial control, just essentially holding near T-spawn on the White Halls before they decide to move in, probably around the 1-minute mark or so, as I think they're just waiting out to make sure Renegades don't try to aggress here and do anything crazy. They're still going to do that, but they're going to do it on Cloud9's execute. As we can see, Nav holding up at the corner, but they see that coming. Automatic will take him down. Azur fails to find the kill in ladder, too. And those were the 2 choke points, but they would have had to start the upset round. And with those going down, the rest of the cleanup is relatively easy for Cloud9. JKS finding 1 kill, but now Still is the last man alive. He does find 1 on his own, but no upgraded gun, and he gets forced back into T-Con, where they're now just going to smoke him. He tries to swing out in front of that, but immediately Stewie will take him down. And with that said, Cloud9 will take dominant control here of this winners group match. They'll take it 16-1, and with that, they'll be able to easily push forward into the semifinals.
Stewie literally 24-3 in that map, and I think that Renegades made their bet a little bit by playing Train. I don't think it's a bad map for them. I just think it's too good for Cloud9. Yeah. And considering their other options in that situation, I mean, they definitely maybe want to avoid Mirage, but then also Train if possible. And I think, yeah, that's what they have to deal with now. I didn't think that it would be I don't think any of us thought it would be that stompy, but I think we all expected a win from Cloud9 at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. But if it went to a better map, a more proficient map for the guys on the Renegades, and maybe this could have gone at least to double digits for both teams, but that map choice really just sealed the deal for Cloud9. And as we saw, the scoreline basically speaks for itself at a 16-1. Yeah,
man advantage every single round. Everybody's hitting shots. Scooter's picking out the opper, and the inner holds are flawless, man. What else can you ask for? Great start.
All right, well, looks like we have Stewie ready up on the stage for an interview with Paula, so let's take it over to them.
Everybody give it up for Cloud9. Stewie, that was an amazing performance. 24-3.
Yeah, just playing with a lot of confidence and happy we carried out.
Yeah, Train, is it particularly strong for you guys at the moment? Why was it so one-sided?
Well, we knew we were a stronger team than them on Train, and we did some research on them, and they did a lot of things that we expected, so we saw a lot of things coming.
Something that I'd like to ask you is, who is your new teammate standing behind you guys? Is that a coach, a manager? Could you explain?
That's our manager. His name is Ian. He's just filling in for Valens right now because he couldn't make it to this LAN.
Yeah, we weren't really sure backstage if Valens is still around. So Valens is still coaching you guys?
Yeah, Valens is still coaching.
Okay, and so what's that like here? The difference having your manager standing behind you guys, how does that change things?
Well, Valens isn't a manager, so he does a lot of things for us, like the little things like getting a monster for us or a Red Bull, and just the little things, just get things done, make sure we're on time, you know. So pretty much just being a manager.
Awesome. 2 wins today then, Stewie. Are you happy overall? They were pretty good games in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that we made it to semis. We get a free day off tomorrow, so we get to just chill out a little bit today and just hang out.
Yeah, and of course, going through to the semifinals, you do get that rest tomorrow. I was going to ask you, what are the plans now? Are you going to be going to practice and to study your potential, like people that you could be playing, or is it more relaxation?
A little more relaxation, but we're going to get back to work tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Well, all the best, Stewie. Congratulations again. Unbelievable. Only 3 deaths in a full-on competitive CSGO match. Trez, let's break it down.
Speaking of breakdowns, let's talk about the Renegades.
Yeah, I don't think we have to need to stew on that too much. I mean, that one was pretty automatic. Just kind of rushed in there, scoodled all over him.
Wow.
The ass
how
has
long,
been spanked.
Yes. How long have you been saying
I actually
that
didn't know how that was going to go. And I skipped a player. I tried to leave it open for you, see if you could tie in Tarek.
You know what? I'm going to let you do your thing over there. But nonetheless, someone certainly doing their thing would be this Cloud9 lineup, really taking the fight to Renegades. 16-1. I believe we had some, is it 2 knives, maybe even 3? Just an outright pummeling. What went wrong here for the Renegades?
Oh, nothing went right for them, first of all. So I think you can't really, let's see. I guess the Renegades, one thing they could have done, we talked about this a little bit while watching the match, was they could have had maybe someone dedicated to watching their back more. I think all 5 tended to commit on executes, and that opened up a lot of holes for Rush. We saw it a few times push up towards Hell, and we saw Tarek a few times lurking his way through smokes, automatic push through an Ivy smoke and flanks, Stewie flank mid, knife someone. It was really just no one dedicated watching their backs, and they're getting, you know, backstab constantly.
Cloud9 just seemed to have this uncanny ability to always be in the stone that got left, you know, unturned, right? You know, whether it was like Rush at E-Box or Olaf, or whether it was, there was one round I think Skadoodle was hiding inside a smoke at Ivy and let him pass through, then came out, grabs a couple of easy kills. And there was even moments where like Cloud9 were just straight up clowning on them. Like, look at that 1v1 that Stewie won, where he's just like jiggling around the ladder and just doing all his crazy antics. The fact that they're getting away with that type of stuff just kind of shows you how dominant that victory really was.
Yeah, a forceful showing, almost one could say. Cloud9 really putting the hurt on him. But, you know, ultimately, I think you're exactly right, James. There were a lot of holes over there when it came down to the T side that really opened up Cloud9 and just kind of walk on through.
It also helped that Skadoodle was getting a lot of entries for this team. And I said in the pregame that he wasn't really, you know, a very, I guess, high-impact player in recent form. But in this match, even though he has low ADR, almost all of his kills, I felt like, were opening op picks on the CT side. And when you're putting your team up in a 4v5, it's really hard as a terrorist on Train to come back.
I mean, there just wasn't really anything going there for Renegades. When you looked at the stats on the board, you could see a Cloud9 team where everyone was really pitching in. Obviously, some guys were hitting pretty heavy and not leaving too many frags available for everyone else, whereas it really felt like no one from Renegades got going. They never really able to find any advantages on their T side. They got picked apart a lot of the time. They usually were playing in man disadvantages a lot of the time. Like, the only rounds that you felt like they really had a chance to win were some of the ones where they decided to just kind of, you know, play really confident, really aggressive, and just try to swarm and trade. And they got in a couple of post-play situations, but again, they could never close close out the clutch situation. So it didn't wind up mattering the ground that they gained or the plants that they got. And you only come up with 1 round. I mean, that's just not enough.
Automatic stopping though? Does anyone?
Yeah, apparently that's a thing.
Does anyone know what's going on here?
There's got to be a threshold within a match like that where it's like, you know what? Let's mix it up a little bit. You know what? You want to op? You want to op? You guys want to op together?
I think
Just
it makes
op.
sense for the position he plays, right? Because Stewie's playing inner a lot, so you don't always want to have a second op in inner. So I think it just makes sense positionally that Automatic would use it on this particular map. Because I know Shroud used to actually use the op in their double op setups on Cloud9 back in the day instead of like Stewie as well.
I prefer the AUG Shroud.
That's just because Shroud can actually play any video game he wants to play.
He's a legend.
And he dominates at it. It's disgusting.
He wins the
good.
PUBG Invitational every day from his bedroom.
Yeah, so the real thing is they had the PUBG Invitational, but he was, you know, they were just deciding who was second and third over there at Gamescom. It was more so that Shroud is just #1. You can't beat that. Either way, Cloud9 coming out in a dominant fashion. And in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, head over to Strafe.com. Grab this app. Head over to the iOS store, Apple, is it Apple? Yes, iOS store, or the Google Play Store. There we go. Pick up the Strafe app and check out the beating that just happened from Cloud9 onto the Renegades. We got another great matchup here, the Group B winners match. It's going to be, it's going to be Big and Mouse Sports as we do get into our last matchup of the day. So make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at the DreamHack Astro Open in Denver.